Hello trainers, Professor Palm here, and today we're going back to the Sinnoh region. You see, today we're going back to when we were getting our first Pokemon, as we followed the professor to Lake Verity, he and his assistant, either Don or Lucas. And while we were there, they walked by and forgot their briefcase. So what did we do? We disobeyed our parents. We went into the tall grass with our best friend, and we were attacked by a wild Starly! Ooh, we didn't have a Pokemon, so what did we do? We opened that briefcase, and what was inside? 3 starter Pokemon. It's never fun to steal. In fact, it's a bad idea always. But it was in this moment we were caught, and there was no way that we could get out of this mess. So, we had to steal one of the professor's Pokemon to protect ourselves. And we had 3 choices. Who did you choose? We had the choice of Turtwig, Chimchar, and of course, little Piplup. I would have to say that Sinnoh has probably the best starters that any other region has ever had, and it's very hard to choose. But since you can only choose one, and it was my first playthrough ever, I started off with none other than a little Turtwig, and that's a decision I have never regretted since then. If I had to say who my favorite grass-type starter was, I would always have to say it would be little Turtwig. This Pokemon has always been my favorite grass-type starter, and it has, in my opinion, the coolest evolutionary line to date, because we start off with a cute little baby turtle becoming a grove turtle, finally becoming a continental landmass tortoise. These Pokemon definitely give a new meaning to the term turtle power. What do you compare life to? Some people compare it to a box of chocolates, as they never know what they're going to get. Some people compare it to a roller coaster for a thrill ride. For me, I compare life to trees, as we start off young and we grow older and even stronger, like trees do. And trees also become wiser with age, because of the rings that they have in the middle of them. So, I'm very happy that Turtwig and its evolutionary line follows my philosophy. It is really cool that we start off with a cute little sprout turtle becoming a continental landmass with a tree on its back in Torterra. Before I begin, I want to give a huge thanks to Felipe Grande. He requested this video, and I hope it lives up to your standards. I love Torterra, Turtwig, and Grotle as much as you do. And I also want to give a huge thanks to Techranova on Etsy. If you like my shirt, this one is called The Grass Turtle Within. She's an incredible artist. If you like seeing me wear these shirts, you can buy them off Etsy. I'm pretty sure you'll look great in these shirts. So please, give her the business she deserves. And, hey, maybe she might make a design that you really like. Now, let's start this right. Let's start slow and steady with the first Pokemon on the Sinnoh Pokedex. And we're going to start off with cute little Turtwig. Ah yes, it's all coming back to me now. Such good memories. This was the first Sinnoh Pokemon I ever got, and I'm so happy that this was the one I chose. Hello, dear old friend. It's nice to see you again. Our tiny leaf Pokemon, Turtwig here, is based off of box turtles. If you didn't know, box turtles are great pets, and you can buy them at pet stores. However, since this Pokemon is a grass type and it's cold-blooded, like most reptiles, Turtwig love being in the sun, and they even enjoy being in heat waves, as a lot of sunlight make them very energetic and very active. One of the most noticeable traits about Turtwig is its sprout or seedling it has on top of its head. This says a lot about its health. You see, if a healthy Turtwig's sprout or seedling stands straight up and it points towards the sky very strong, it means it's hydrated and it's doing great. But if Turtwig is dehydrated or severely dehydrated, it will be wilting, showing that it requires water. Because, like most plants, Turtwig, being the grass type it is, needs a lot of water to survive. Also, its leaves say a lot about its health as well. The brighter green they are, the healthier your Turtwig is. The less green and more wilty these leaves are, the more you need to hydrate and give this Pokemon water. While Turtwig's sprout says a lot about how it's feeling about water and sunlight levels, there's another part of its body that says that, and that would be its beautiful shell. As you can see, this shell is made completely out of soil, and if you were to touch it, it gives off a pretty moist feeling. The reason why is because as much water as this Pokemon drinks, it goes to also wax its shell and also give off a little hydration to its body coming out of its shell. But if you want your Turtwig to really shine, put it in the sun and let this Pokemon use synthesis, because the more sunlight this Pokemon is given, the shinier its shell will be, and it can even become a little bit lighter in the sun. Also, since this Pokemon has a shell that hardens a lot, it is currently the heaviest basic starter Pokemon. Turtwig weighs in at 22 pounds. Turtwig is currently the only starter Pokemon to be used by a gym leader in an initial battle, and that would be the Eterna City gym leader Gardenia, who uses a Turtwig on both her Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, Diamond and Pearl, and Platinum teams. Currently, there are no other gym leaders to this day that use a starter Pokemon on any of their gym battles, even if they were a first gym leader. This little Turtwig is just so adorable. I could spend so long with it. Well, guess what? We actually get to, because very similar to Totodile becoming a Croconaw, Turtwig does not evolve until it hits level 18, which is pretty long for most starter Pokemon, and that is currently the highest level it takes for a starter to evolve. We could keep it as a little turtle, but nah, let's let it get stronger. And heck, let's even make this Pokemon wiser. So, it's time to have our little leaf Pokemon evolve into the Grove Pokemon. So, let's go Grotle! Ah yes, another great memory just resurfaced, watching my little Turtwig evolve into this awesome Grove Pokemon. Grotle is even stronger than its previous evolution. Look at those trees it has on its back. Well, I guess they're bushes, and they look kind of silly, but they do give a lot of power. This Pokemon is based off of snapping turtles, which is strange because Grotle is often seen as a very friendly Pokemon, but then again, this Pokemon can learn Crunch and Bite. So maybe approaching it carelessly and without a thought isn't such a great idea. As you can see, through evolution, its shell has changed colors from brown to yellow. It now has 3 ridges with 2 trees coming out, and it has even gained a very long tail. This Pokemon really likes to sunbathe, as it likes heat waves and it enjoys going into forests. But what Grotle really likes to do is give children rides, as it has a lot of fun making children happy. It doesn't mind also when other Pokemon go on its shell. If you didn't know, its shell is now made of hardened soil. Grotle's bushes on its right and left ridge are not just for show. In fact, these bushes have the ability to produce fruit, berries, and even acorns, which a lot of Pokemon and people enjoy eating. In fact, a lot of people consider Grotle berries or even Grotle fruit a delicacy, as some people pick the fruit and sell it for a profit. Even Pokemon like to build their nest on Grotle's bushes so they don't miss out. If you're a berry hunter like me, or you really like eating sweets, keep this Pokemon with you, because this is one Pokemon that will never let you go a day hungry. Just like its previous evolution, Turtwig, Grotle's shell adds extra weight and it's not for show. In fact, that shell is not light at all. This Pokemon weighs in at 214 pounds, making Grotle the heaviest middle evolution starter Pokemon of all time. Since Grotle are based off of snapping turtles, these Pokemon like to live in the forest, but they really like to live closest to the water. In fact, some people say that Grotle guard their own secret spring of water. There are even legends that some people believed that Grotle knew the whereabouts of the Fountain of Youth. The reason why Grotle were rumored for so many years by explorers to be the Pokemon that knew the location of the Fountain of Youth is because when these Pokemon find a spring of untouched water by any human hand or Pokemon, they are very, very vigilant of guarding it. And they have the ability to find water that is untouched and as pure as can be in certain places. Speaking of certain places, oftentimes you should watch where you're walking because if you're not careful, the ground under you might move on its own with the next step you take. Yep, that's right. We're going to the highest level. It's time to turn this little bush or grove Pokemon into a full patch of land. Let's go green and let's go big for the tortoise himself, Torterra! Ah, yes, all the best memories are coming back to me. Getting this Pokemon years ago was incredible, but looking at it now, it's still just as awesome as it was back then. Torterra is based off of a fusion, actually, of an Ankylosaurus and a giant tortoise, and it is the heaviest final evolved starter Pokemon, as it tips the scale at a whopping 684 pounds. If you didn't know, Torterra is actually the tallest final evolution starter in the Sinnoh region, as Torterra measures up at 7'3", Empoleon measures at 5'7", and Infernape measures up at 3'11". While Torterra is a ginormous Pokemon, it's a very gentle giant with a big heart. Torterra is currently the only living grass and ground Pokemon, and what a unique typing that is, making it currently the only grass Pokemon to have an immunity to thunder. However, this typing gives it a major weakness to ice, as it's now a ×4 weakness. Torterra's shell has grown ginormous, as there's now a tree, 3 boulders, and even a little stone path on its back, making this a moving land Pokemon. Some small Pokemon actually use its back as a home, and Torterra doesn't mind. In fact, it doesn't even notice. Some Pokemon are actually born on Torterra's back, and they spend their entire lives there without Torterra ever knowing or even noticing it. Just like giant tortoises in real life, Torterra live in groups, and when they need water, a lot of them migrate to a place to find good fresh water. It's not just Torterra who live in these groups. Turtwig and Grotle also live on them. And some of them even stay on Torterra's back as it moves, since Torterra enjoys giving others rides and it doesn't care who is on its back. Torterra have a massive thirst, no thanks to that ginormous patch of grass and that huge tree on its back. This Pokemon can drink an entire lake in just one day to quench that thirst. There have been reports that some lakes disappeared because of a Torterra migration. Just like its previous evolution, Grotle, Torterra has the ability to grow fruit, berries, and even acorns in that tree on its back. In fact, since these Pokemon live in the forest or in the wooded areas, and they move, which make people unaware that they are there and see the trees moving, this has gained Torterra its own nickname, the Walking Forest. Since Torterra is a grass ground type, this Pokemon has the ability to learn the move Dig, which it often likes to do to bury its head and its body underground, only leaving its shell on top. Most of the time, people and Pokemon are unaware that they walk onto Torterra's back, and when they get on top of it and it moves, they finally realize. In fact, in the ancient days, most people believed that underneath their feet wasn't just land, it was a ginormous Torterra. This happened to be the case in the movie Detective Pikachu when Tim Goodman, Lucy, Detective Pikachu, and Psyduck learned the mountains they were on were gigantic Torterra. Or, I guess as we could call them in Legends of Arceus, Alpha Torterra. While Torterra is a great Pokemon to have, it has one major weakness, and that is its speed. Because looking at those massive 4 legs it has, and the boulders protruding from its back, along with that tree, really slow this Pokemon down. But then again, you can't entirely blame it, because it has a lot to carry. On the bright side, if you do own this Pokemon, you have your own personal playground, and you even have your own personal training ground to train on. While Turtwig, Grotle, and Torterra have a major weakness in the speed department since they have a lot to carry on their back, they really make up for it with better stats, especially in the defense stats. If you're one of those who likes to go with a high defense, then look no further, my dear trainer, and go with Turtwig, Grotle, and Torterra. And hey, since they're turtles and they go very slow, with slowness and age comes greatness and wisdom. Another thing that's really fun about these Pokemon is the fact that you could compare it to the evolution of a tree, because that's what happens. We start off with a little sprout on little Turtwig, we grow into a big bush on Grotle, and finally we have our own patch of land with a ginormous tree on Torterra's back. It's kind of cool. We start with a little turtle, getting into a big turtle, and ending with a ginormous tortoise. And like real turtles, these Pokemon last for a very long time, so you can grow old with these turtles. Think about that. You can get this Pokemon as a kid, and as you grow older, so will little Turtwig, becoming a Grotle and then a Torterra. This is a Pokemon you could say is a true life partner, because just like other turtles, these things age very, very slowly. And even though they age slowly, you'll have a partner to remember a lot of things with. And it'll always be by your side. Hey, guess what? You can also make this Pokemon your house. I guess you could put a little shack or something on its back and maybe live on top of Torterra. And you can even take your own walker or even your rocking chair and put it on top of Torterra and watch the sunset on its back. There are so many things to do with Torterra, and what the best part is, you get to spend your life with it. It'll watch you grow up and watch you achieve so much, and the best part is, it'll be by your side no matter what. Are you a fan of this whole grass turtle line? Or do you prefer fire types and start with the fire monkey line? Or are you more of a water type person and you lean towards the penguin line? Who did you start off with in any of the Sinnoh games that you played? And are Turtwig, Grotle, and Torterra your least favorite grass type starters, your favorite grass type starters, or have you never gone with them before? I'd love to know. If you liked what you saw, please leave a like. If you want to answer any of my questions, you have an idea for a video, or you want me to talk about another Pokemon, please comment. And if you like what you saw and you want to see more, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. Palm out.